Alright, so I have routed most of the connections, and what you could see here that there's still 7 connections to be done. And of course I have moved components a little bit in order to adjust and route, and even I've used a couple of different types of wires, the default as well as the bigger ones. Now uh, I'll show you a magic by which all these unconnected pins will go away, and with that you will have something good to learn. In often designs, what they do is, and the top layer, or it could be either, so one of the layers is made a ground plane, and the other is made a VCC plane. And as you could see here, the connections which I have left off are ground connections and the VCC or the 5-volt connections, because I wanted to make a plane. So what we'll do is, to make a plane, ground plane, it is basically to fill copper in the areas which are not routed, or where in the places where you do not see any connections, I mean any copper, you will fill it with copper, either with ground or with the VCC. They do that because to make a natural capacitor, if a top layer is VCC and the bottom layer is ground, and an insulator in between, it makes a natural capacitance. So, and that helps reduce the uh, overall capacitance, I mean it increases the overall capacitance of the board, and which is good for uh, good for current flow and power. So to put a plane, you need to select the add field zones option, and then uh, you have to put the plane across the perimeter of the board. So on the front side I need a VCC, so this front copper is selected, and the net name is VCC. So I'll just route it around the perimeter of the board. And you need to do a right click and select fill or refill zone, so it will fill a VCC plane. Now from 6 it has moved down, 7 it has moved down to 6, so one of the connections was VCC. Now again we need a similar plane on top for the on the bottom for the ground. So I will select bottom copper, and then I will make one more plane on the bottom, and that is for ground. So usually they uh, leave out VCC and ground connections, and then make a copper fill, so that the remaining connections are routed once you make a copper fill. So as soon as we complete this, we'll see if all the 6 are ground connections and they get refilled with the option. So now I put the ground and the VCC planes. Let me fill or refill the zones. Yes, and now there are 3 connections which are not connected, and we could switch the layers and try, because most of the connections of the ground were on top, so we could have chosen the top layer to be ground. So let us just switch that. So let me remove the zones, and you could delete it. So let me do the ground field first, and that will be on top. No, it should be on top. Front copper, ground. Okay. Alright, so fill this and see. So it works. So you have only one connected. This is because most of the connections for ground were on top layer. So if we had made a top plane for ground, we would have done in the first instance. Now let us put the plane again for VCC, and that would be the bottom layer. So this is VCC, and for the bottom copper. So okay, let's see. Yeah, VCC and bottom. Okay. So we'll start it with some other start point. Alright, so 0 unconnected uh, unconnected wires. So now what you see is there is a plane on the bottom side as well as on top side. So one is ground, another is VCC. So this is a complete route of a board. You could also see the 3D of it. So this is how it looks. So this is the top side and this is the bottom side. Now as you see here, not all of the components have a 3D. So in the next video we'll see how. Now from functional point of view, you can straight away generate the Gerber files and send for fabrication from here, but to beautify the design and to put some legends, we'll see the next video, and in the next session we'll see how you can even put 3D 3D views of all the components, and also you can put some legends, or you can make some markers on the board. So see you